This week we're cracking open the vault doors for a sweaty Western revenge flick that's got grit and balls. This is a modern spaghetti Western that was born to be a B-movie in the streaming age. Welcome to the vault of B-movie trash. I'm your host Andy, and this week we're putting on our boots and heading west for They Call Her Death. Now this is a film by Austin Snell that was released in 2024, but it feels like it was scraped off a 1960s Grindhouse floor. The film opens with a setup scene. An outlaw creeps into an office, smokes an old guy with a bar of gold, and strolls out like it's just business. And before it can fade to black, you just know the scene is going to come back around. Once this film kicks off, we get one of the best opening credits I've seen in a long time. I'm a graphic artist by trade, so anytime I see a beautiful credits, I gotta take a minute and point them out. It's like if Saul Bass was hired by Tarantino to create a trash masterpiece. Now the film finally opens on Molly Prey and her husband living the good life on a rural pig farm. It doesn't take long before that dream gets blown into bits. Literally, when a bounty hunter rides up and shoots old Thomas in the head. Apparently he was wanted dead or alive, and dead seemed a lot easier to haul. The bounty hunter tells Molly her man was wanted for murder, then rides off like it's just another Tuesday, leaving Molly standing there wondering if she's gonna have to slop all them pigs herself. Now Molly rides into town looking for answers, but Sheriff Frank's no help and his nameless deputy might as well be furniture. They claim Thomas was a wanted man, but Molly's not buying it and she calls Frank a killer to his face. Back home, Molly downs a few swigs, passes out, and gets a visit from her dead husband's ghost. When she wakes up, she's done grieving, and it's time to burn this town down. Back in town, the lies keep stacking up. Turns out Thomas's death might have been part of Frank's plan to climb the political ladder. Molly's haunted, hunted, and getting real tired of being polite. When two goons bust into her cabin to scare her off, she shows them just how scary she can be. After a quick tussle, she guts the goons and kicks this revenge plot into high gear. And since we're talking about gutting folks, now's a good time to give a shout out to the film's blood and squib work. No CGI here, just good old-fashioned practical gore. Now mixed in with all this revenge madness is a weird supernatural thread. Dead Thomas keeps showing up all over the place, and there's this creepy cloaked figure who represents death. He keeps trying to lure Molly in like he's trying to pull her to the dark side. For reasons never quite made clear, a new deputy named Turner shows up. Unlike the other guy, this one actually matters. While Molly's hunting down the truth, she stumbles upon a coffin full of gold and starts connecting the dots. Later, Molly's passed out drunk again when Diego, the bounty hunter from the start, shows up. He monologues, steals her guns, and sets the whole damn place on fire while she doesn't even flinch. She wakes up to ash and empty hands, but her thirst for vengeance is burning brighter than ever. While she's trying to get her bearings, the no-name deputy is off doing some stagecoach killing. Molly spots her stolen guns and does what any proper femme fatale would do. She ties that sorry bastard to a tree stump and goes to town on his exposed gonads. Turns out the sheriff had Diego stage a murder to frame Thomas, all in a bid to boost his political career. And Molly, well, she goes nuts.
The law in Sterling owns your ass.
And I own your balls.
With a severed head in one hand and maybe a few loose body parts in her pocket, Molly storms into town and faces off with Sheriff Frank. A massive shootout ensues. She's gunning down everybody like it's her job, but eventually she gets hit. As she slips toward death, we get a scene so perfectly spaghetti western it should come with a Marconi soundtrack. She dies, it's over, roll credits. Just kidding, we got 30 minutes left. Molly makes a deal with death. She'll deliver the souls of the folks who wronged her, and in return, she gets to finish what she started. Meanwhile, Sheriff Frank sends Deputy Turner to take her down. But this is one of those twisted westerns, so there's a gunman waiting. Turner's almost toast, but guess who shows up with hellfire in her eyes? Molly's locked and loaded with her new demonic sharpshooting skills. They team up to find the gold that's funding Frank's whole dirty campaign. Lucky for them, Frank throws himself a big old party because, you know, parties are cheap to film and this movie's gotta wrap up. Molly kicks in the door and mows down every last guest. Blood, bullets, boom. Everyone dies. Except Diego. He's still kicking. Before Molly can race off into the sunset for her final battle with Diego, we get one of the most brutal, badass fight scenes I've seen in a long time. After that showdown, Molly and Turner tracked down Diego and tied this movie up with a bloody little bow. Now maybe it's because They Call Her Death was trying to be a campy Grindhouse spaghetti western, but I loved every damn cheese-filled second. Director Austin Snell shot this whole thing on 16mm using vintage cameras from the 60s. And it shows in the best way. You can fake grit in post, but you can't fake this kind of grime. It's got soul and dirt under its nails, and I'm here for it. A fun side note, Snell built most of the interior sets in a single-car garage. Talk about DIY. He also self-funded it with his buddy Adam, and most of the cast were friends or local theater folks who gave up their weekends for over 2 years just to make this bloodbath come to life. And that, trash lovers, is why this sucker's going into the vault. Alright, it's your turn to sound off on They Call Her Death. Hit the comments section and tell me your thoughts. Hey, and while you're there, be sure to slam that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can never miss me ranting about whatever madness rolls out next. Until next time, make sure your spurs are tight, your aim is true, and remember, when all else fails, you can make a deal with death.